Grass Valley Library. Thanks for joining me this morning for another episode of Random Acts of Science. Today we're going to make a Valentine out of electric circuits. So it's going to be pretty fun. If you haven't already picked up a bag at the Grass Valley Library, you can do that. And on the outside, there's a QR code. You can scan that. It'll take you right to this video and you can follow along. Inside the bag, you're going to find an information sheet, some more information about the project, instructions on how to do it. You'll find a cardstock heart. You will find, clipped to that, a piece of copper tape and a paper clip. All those things are going to be necessary for this project. Also inside the bag, you'll find a smaller bag, and inside of that is a coin cell battery and a small LED light. So LED stands for light emitting diode, and it's a very efficient way of creating lights. It doesn't use very much electricity at all. And then from home, you're going to need a pair of scissors, and you're going to need some Scotch tape. So, all right, let's get started. The first thing that you want to do is take your heart and then cut it out along the outer small, skinnier line until it looks something like this. Make sure you leave the tab on that bottom corner because that is totally essential for this project to work. So don't cut that off. In fact, you could fold it over even just to remind yourself once it's there that we're going to need it. Okay, so you've got your heart cut out, and the next thing we're going to do is create a circuit. What's a circuit? So a circuit is a path that electricity flows along. If it's a complete path, that electricity will just go round and round in a circle. Think of it like the electricity is the train and the path is the track. So if that track makes that complete circle, that train can just keep going and going. But if that path or track is open at all, that train will come around and it'll go right off the rails. And that's how the electricity loop stops. So think of it like a light switch as well. If that light switch is turned on and that track is totally an enclosed loop, your light's going to work. If that light switch is turned off, that means that track is broken and the electricity cannot go to all the places that you want it to go. So, all right, the parts of the circuit that we're going to build are, every circuit needs power. So in our case, it's going to be this little tiny battery. It's going to need a path, which we're going to build out of the copper tape, and it is going to need a resistor or a load. And in this case, that is going to be our LED light, this little tiny light emitting diode. So the first thing we're going to do is create that path. We're going to use this copper tape. On the back of this tape, you can peel the back off to make it less sticky. You can peel the back off to make it less sticky, and we're going to trace a path on the big black line inside the edges. We're going to trace that path with our with our copper tape. So the light is going to go up in that upper corner where you see the circle with the X through it. The battery is going to go where the dotted line is, near where the tab is, and the thick black line is going to be where the copper tape goes. So the first thing we're going to do is run one piece of copper tape from where the light fixture is going to go all the way down to where the battery goes. And that's going to, you see that little plus sign, so that's going to be the positive leg of our loop. And then at the negative side of that light, we're going to do the same thing, and we're going to trace that path all the way down and across the top of the tab. So we've got two pieces of circuit that we're going to be working with. So this circuit, you can peel off the top of it. I usually leave the back right where it is because it's super helpful to get it to not stick. And then I'm going to go ahead and trace that path. You can kind of gently pull this thing around in a circle. It's okay if it crinkles on you. That is no problem as long as it is one continuous piece. The first time I did this experiment, it broke. It snapped. I was working a little too hard and the tape just broke. So I was able to cut another piece of tape, lap it over by, a half an inch or so, and then continue on. And now I'm going to do the other half. This one is going to involve making some corners, which is a little bit tricky. So I'm going to start again at the other side of that light fixture. So I've got a little gap here between the two parts. That's where the resistor is going to bridge. And then I'm going to slowly stick down part of the heart. And then to make the corner, you're gonna pull it a little too far. You're gonna fold that edge back. And then, it was a little tricky, but if you keep a hold of it, you can bend it back towards you again over the top. So here we go, around the corner. Oh boy, I might run out of tape here. We'll see. Well, yep, I am gonna run out of tape. So I'm gonna go grab a little bit more and we're gonna see how this works. Okay, so I've got another shorter piece of tape. I'm gonna overlap that other one by a good 1/2 inch. Make sure it's a tight contact. And then I gotta turn this corner again. So I'm gonna flip it backwards and forwards. And there we go. Cut it off when I get to the right spot. Okay, so there we've got the whole thing. That's the tape. Okay, step 2 is going to be to add the resistor or the LED light bulb. So you take a quick look at this thing. You'll see that one leg is longer than the other leg. Oops, let's see. The longer leg is the positive side. The shorter leg is the negative side. So we're going to spread the legs out of the light fixture like this, so that that little light looks like it's doing the splits. You can cut those off with a scissor if you want to, shorten them up a little bit, but we're going to start out by making sure that the positive, or the longer leg is the positive side. We're going to set the light fixture down, the little light down on that circle, and then we're going to use our tape, just a little piece of tape, and we're going to tape it to the we're going to tape it on top of the copper tape, and that's going to make sure that there's a very tight connection between the two of those things. Let's do the other one here. And the last piece of the puzzle is to put the battery in place. So your battery has a positive and a negative side. So when all I had to do was flip over the battery, so now the negative side is on the bottom, the positive side is on the top, and when I flip that switch, the light comes on. So I'm going to use this big, and there you have it. I hope you had a great time making this with me today. Go ahead and use your decorating tools, markers, crayons, pencils, whatever you got, and make it look super pretty and offer it to somebody that's really important to you. So thanks for joining me today, and tune in next week for another episode of Random Acts of Science.